So guys, this is my weekly report for August 22nd. So I'll give you a little heads up of what I've been doing this week. Stripers, bass, stripers, bass, stripers, bass. It's been pretty crazy week. I had no big ones. The biggest striper is like 13 pounds, and the biggest bass is probably 7 pounds. I've been doing really good. There's a big school of stripers in the Rio Vista area. I got friends that are trolling, catching them, with deep dive in Yozuris. I'm up in Liberty, and I'm up in like 1 to 2 feet of water, and I'm catching them in there. The only problem is that when you get a lot of wind, like this year, I haven't seen so much wind. Today we were out there and we got blowed out, went in there, and you couldn't even stand up. It was just rocking and rolling. So we didn't even fish inside there today. So we just went and did some bass fishing. But the striper fishing's been crazy. It's been off the hook. So I think a lot of the stripers that were in the bay, they're starting to make their way into the Delta now. They'll stay anywhere from Sherman, Pittsburgh, that area, all the way to the Deepwater Channel and up north in Liberty, and they'll make that their home for the winter. And they'll just keep feeding and fattening up, and then when the weather changes, spring comes around, then they'll head up the river. But it looks like they're here a little bit early this year. Normally, I usually start in September, but there's a big schools that are showing up already. So if you want to catch stripers, you better get out here. At the bass bite, it's been really good. The water temperature went from the week and a half ago in the mid 70s. Now, when we got here this morning, it was 69 and it only got to 71. Our days are getting shorter. It doesn't get light till 6. So the bass and all the other fish know that, the days are getting shorter, water temperature cooling, and I think that's why that big rush of stripers came in. The bass are making their move. They're starting to get on the wood. We punched a lot today. We caught a lot flipping. We caught them throwing in grass. We just caught a lot of fish. Today we probably put in over 50 bass in the boat. So it's a really good time to get out and enjoy fishing. So other things going on in the area. Haven't heard too much about bluefin. Not a lot of people going after, but the albacore bites seem to be pretty good. You got to watch for the water temperature to see where that water break is. I have a friend that went up to Fort Bragg this last week. He went out 60 to 70 miles, but he caught like 70 or 80 albacore. I saw some other guys posting that, they caught 90. So they're catching a lot of fish. It's an all-day adventure. So just watch that water line. It'll start moving in. When it moves in, you don't have to go so far, because 60 to 70 miles is a long ways out there. So other things going on, the rock fishing's been really good. The shallow rock season's open, and a lot of the guys are getting tired catching halibut, so they're out there rock fishing. The bite's been really good. Out of San Francisco, Bodega Bay, it's a good time right now. If we get some weather that's decent, I don't know, the wind's been blowing here every day, so I would definitely check the weather and call them guys. Other than that, the bay's been really good for halibut. Most of the boats are going out to the North Bar if the weather permits. They're drifting anchovies. I still pretty sure that Pier 36 there's still anchovies available, and they're going out the gate because the fish are bigger out there. They average like 10 to 25 pounds out there on the North Bar, and depending on the tide, sometimes they'll go to the South Bar, sometimes they'll go to the beaches outside the gate. But the halibut fishing, most of the guys, the captains and the party boats, six packs, are all running out there. If you want to go, it's not really feasible. I have a whaler, and I'm thinking, I might as well just hop on like Jay's boat or something. So you got Richie Acosta, Jay Lopes, Steve Mitchell, the Cal Don with Smith. Those guys will put you on fish, and when you get back, you're at the dock. Well, they clean them for you, so it's a lot simpler than hauling my boat and having to clean it, and it's just a lot easier. So anyway, coming inside, they're also catching a lot of sharks. So they're targeting leopard sharks, and I heard they're catching like 20 to 50 on a trip. And you also get different kinds of sharks. They have seven gill. They have a bunch of different types of sharks in the bay. and they're also doing really well on those. And anything else, stripers are still catching them. Blade Runner Rick's been out there spooning over there by the San Rafael Bridge. They go out there in the afternoon, take the boat out there, and in the 2 hours they're spooning like 100 of them. But the biggest one seems to be around that, 3 to 12 pounds. I think he got one 12 the other day. But those fish are the ones that I think are moving upstream and getting in our Dell system for the winter. But the bite's still on fire down there. So, there's a lot of stripers in the bay still. Sturgeon fishing, they're going through all the regs, but, until they finally announce it, it looks like they might agree on a catch and release, for sturgeon fishing. It's not final yet, but, in the talking, it sounds like there's going to be a catch and release season. But wait and make sure when the regs come out, that you're making sure that, that it's going to be okay to catch and release. There's a lot of fish up in the Sac on the American River. There's a group of steelhead up there. Kyle over the Fisherman's Warehouse has been catching them in there. He told me he's catching 4 to 6 fish, on one drift in the drift boat. So if there's something you want to do close, give Kyle a call. He's over at the warehouse. You can get a hold of him, and maybe he could put you on some fish. Kokanee fishing's been actually getting really good lately. There's good sized fish at New Melones. Actually, Buller's Bar's got some decent ones. Pardee's got some decent ones. Union Valley's definitely got some nice fish. Whiskey Town's got them. It sounds like, you probably got about another month, to get the good season since, and the fish are been fattening up all the way through spring and the summer. So it's a good time to go out, and if you want to go catch some nice kokanee, get out and go catch them. I know Big Nate, he's been catching them at Berryessa. I had a friend that was up there, John was up there last week. He fished for 2 hours and caught 8. They were all like 13 to 15 inch, so they're nice fish. Big Nate's still hammering a trout at Berryessa. Those are those Eagle Lake strain. They're anywhere from 2 to 5, 6 pounds, and they're beautiful fish. They're real red meat, and they're good table fare. So if you still want to get on there and go catch some trout, give Big Nate a call. And he's also got a new boat from Gone Fishing Marine. I think it's 23 foot. It's a monster. And I saw a video on, he was driving that thing 50 miles an hour. He's got a 23 boat that's going over 50 miles an hour. Pretty impressive. So other than that, crappie fishing, pretty soon I'm going to be getting my gear out. The water temperature is dropping. I'll probably go up to Berryessa, maybe down the Delta. But that's all coming up here pretty quick. I want the weather to cool down a little bit, and then I'll be heading out there. So every Saturday morning at 6:40, tune in on the AM dial on your way out fishing on 1140. I'm on California Sportsman's. And then the first Saturday of every month, I'm also talking on Kent Brown's Ultimate Bass. And if you guys need any boat work, or buy a new boat or fish finds or anything, give Gone Fishing a call. So anyway, I see some of you guys have been looking at my buddy's channel, Blind Squirrel Channel. What a name for a fishing channel. I mean, who's going to look up a fishing channel with Blind Squirrel? But give it a check it out. He'll even, when he videos, he even shows when he has a bad day. It's not always going out and slaughtering the fish. So he's really down to earth. If he's not catching any, he shows you, he tells you that he's not catching them. So, give his channel, check it out. So if you like this video, hit that like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.